Hey everybody, we are officially in the last week of Continuum's campaign for the Continuum Presents, and I'm just going to turn on our stuff. The Continuum Presents HEROiX, and the whole journey behind Continuum has been a wild ride so far. One worthy of a comic book in itself. We're going to go over more about the future, less about the past. So I want to really show you guys where we're planning to go, why it's a project that's very dear to my heart. And I'm just double checking, make sure my sound's good. It's a project that's very dear to my heart. So we're getting this double feedback. Just double checking, make sure my sound's good. It's a project that's very all right. So for some reason it wouldn't let me pause it, but I'm very proud about where we're going with this, and I invite you guys to ask questions as we go through the evening. I don't know who's going to show up. I wanted to come talk about the Continuum. For those who don't know, real short, brief history of the Continuum. The Continuum itself started off as a Written Sins project, believe it or not, way back in the day. And it was always meant to bring creators together. This was an idea I had way back in the day, and early on other people were attached to it. We came close to doing it at one point, but something seemed to always get in the way. And a lot of that was me. I just didn't, when something went wrong with it, I kind of put it on the back shelf, and I was like, okay, we'll do it later. Okay, I'll fix it later. And last year, I was like, okay, I'm done waiting. We're going to do it. So it was on hiatus for 3 years, and then I made it, and we were going to be called the Creator Spotlight. Comic Book Advocates presents the Creator Spotlight. It changed from the name of it, but the core principles are something I have fought for, and I will continue to fight for. And that is really making a place for creators to showcase their work. Now, we also have become a publisher, and when Mike gets here, I'll let him talk a little bit more about that and our goals for that. But Continuum is a comic book. Continuum Comics is the publisher. There is a difference there between the two. So I'm just going to speak on the Continuum really quickly. So the Continuum is something when I announced this, and I announced it as 100 issues back when it was actually still called Creator Spotlight. And the reason I made 100 issues is the Tom King thing, and I wanted to take that swing. I want to do 100 issues in 10 years, and we're looking like we might just get 3 out this year. That looks like it's going to be a hard accomplishment to make. But I hope us to get to a point where we're putting out 12 a year. And if we miss 110 years, that doesn't mean I can't get more after a little bit of time. In other words, I can keep going. There's a time where I can, hold on. As a matter of fact, you know what's great about this is that it really has, it encompasses, I'm trying to see if I have it in this room. When I came up with the indie thing last year, I'm going to play the video for you. This is what I had in mind, doing something like this. So let me see if I can get you the indie. I'm going to circle for a minute. Give me a second. No, here we go. So when I did Let Me Indie, I thought about making this comic. Let me indie. So that right then and there, that statement made me really want to do this grander idea of putting together a comic book where I just invited my friends. I want all people who can follow the pair standard. Now, what's the pair standard? Like, here we go. This is what I expect people in this project to be. Now, of course, before we play this, I want to say that I can't control what people do after I release it. I can't control what they did. And I'm not a big fan of going too far back in someone's past. I think if they haven't done it in 6 months and they've shown growth, then they might not be the same person. We have to leave room for growth for people. So if they're doing something in the future, we might stop reprinting their issues, or we might just not invite them back, depending on what they're doing. I can't spend the time and the energy to thoroughly do background checks on anyone. So I do stress that the people that we work with, sometimes we don't control what they're into. But here is what I mean by be a pair.
Be a pair. Be professional. Be ethical. Be authentic. Be respectful. Remember, in this industry for comics, be a pair. Art provided by Chris Mad. Look up Chris Mad Art on Facebook today.
And I'm being joined now by Specs. And what's going on, Specs? Specs is a great creator. And, I'm in the wrong room again. And one of the good things I like about Specs is the energy he brings to social media. I know you're having some trouble with your neighbors, though. I've been there. That's the one part.
Oh, yeah.
Apartment,
we're gonna have a little situation tonight about that.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than someone keeping your kids up when you're a parent. You don't mind as much for yourself, but when it's your kids, there's going to be some creative bad guy neighbors I see coming to the Legacy of the View in the next couple issues.
Yeah, I can definitely add them in. They definitely villains right now.
And then we got Mike coming in. And I was just saying before you guys came in, the Continuum Comics itself was made to be this place where we could showcase the talent of all independent creators. And that's a beautiful thing. Like, I put a call out and I was like, hey, we're going to do this thing. We kind of switched our gears because Mike had put together this book. And I looked at him and I said, you made a hero book. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, everything's a hero. Let's do heroes. And he's like, yeah, but I really want a different style. He's like, do you know anyone who has an anime style? And at the time I was like, I don't know if they have a hero book that way. I was like, let me send something out and I'll see what we get. And you were one of the first people who were like, oh, I got something. And I've known you for a while now. And I was like, yeah. I think I messaged you the minute I saw the thing. And I was like, what do you got from it? You showed it to me and I sent it to Mike. And I'm like, not only is this great, but this is exactly what you asked for. What did you think when you first saw it, Mike?
It was hitting. It was hitting. It had all the feel, but had a different vibe. So, and everybody loves anime now. Everybody's into manga. Manga's spread all over the place. So the vibe that he got was just phenomenal. I just loved it. So yeah, it was very impressive. The action, the way the word balloons are, even like the like anime and manga has very a lot of movement and energy in each panel, and I love that.
Yeah, no, that was. I mean, Mike was like, "How did you get this so fast?" Because I remember I got it to him the same day he'd asked me, and I'm like, "I know good people, and I do. That's what this whole project's about: bringing together amazing creators and letting amazing creators just create." Put things out. Now, the Continuum itself, and I'm gonna pass it to Mike here. I explained before you got on, the Continuum is the comic book, and then there's Continuum Comics. Do you want to explain what we're going to use the comic book to do and launch, and how we're going to use it to launch different imprints and stuff like that, and the energy we're trying to put out there?
We're trying to literally try to elevate, and it's people that like Specs, like Marvin. There's so much talent out there that just trying to give another more venues, more ways to see the eyes and stuff, because we got a big vision, and our vision is not like 1 or 2 comic books or something like that. Or we want to get to the point where with the actual Continuum comic, where we plan it for 100 issues, real talk, where it features different talents. Some stories will just be test pilots to see how people feel about it, what vibe we get from it. If something is hot, then and somebody, whether somebody wants to jump on and be a part of the Continuum, is bring their property to it, or it's something that we're in development of, because it's a few things me and Rob have bounced off, and a few other people that's in-house. We bounced off each other and have ideas for new stories, new ideas that we want to get in development. So,
now, Specs, I wanted to ask you, you've built this awesome series that's ongoing. You have these other things going on. Has it been different working with other creators, having someone else finally being around you and like showing off your work? Is that like something? Because I know the first time I saw someone showing off my work, I was like, "Ooh, look, someone's talking about my work, and I don't have to." Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted. Maybe your mic's not working. I don't. Mike, can you hear him?
I can't hear you.
Hold on. There we go.
Now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess a headset, but yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird. I have had creators like share my work, you know, just show support and help me out. But actually, somebody's going hard, you know, the same level as I would my own stuff. You know, that's been different. You know, so I didn't expect that, but you know, it's great to see.
Now, the great thing, too, is that I get to go to Comic-Cons, hopefully starting. We're hoping to get the book out by MegaCon. We're not 100% sure if we'll have it by MegaCon, but we'll definitely have it by SuperCon. I get to bring you with me to Florida at SuperCon.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go bring you to Baltimore. You're coming with me to New York Comic-Con. Your work is going to travel with me for the remainder of the time that because I'm not a person who gives up on anything. I still have the Advocator. People ask me if I'm going to do another Advocator, and I'm like, I could for the right reason. And then because it excites me to have all these different creators and go, look what they did, especially for you. You're the first person that I can truly say, yes, I have something mega. I have not had that moment. I have not, like, that was the one thing on my checklist. Like anything else, I actually did have something. I was like, aha, I do have that. They're like manga, and I was like, that's so close.
I just love looking over it and the energy that book brings. You know what I mean? The idea and concept, it fits, but like I love your twist to it and stuff like that. And
yeah,
I do. I'm feeling.
I try to keep it fresh. It's something, you know, I want to read. You know, I try. Yeah, I just keep it something like I want to read. You know, you get tired of the same old cookie cutter superhero stuff. You know, it just what happens is something goes wonky. You know.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, and it was awesome because every creator kind of had this unique twist on the stories, and it was not something anyone set out to do. Like, that wasn't our goal. None of us were like, we're going to recreate something very different. And I think when you think that way, you come up with something that the people don't like. I don't think the Boys creator was like, I'm going to do something very different. He just wanted to be like, what if the superheroes are the bad guys? Let's see what the hell we can get away with. And I think Specs kind of has that humor and seriousness in a well-balanced that you rarely see in comic books, because it's either campy or it's like serious. And your book takes itself very seriously while being funny.
Mm.
So that's and you're a talented writer. I like the jokes. It made me actually laugh. You know, I like something when I go back and read it a second time because I want to see what I missed. Because that first time you're racing through it to see how the story ends. But I went back the second time and I was like, Mike, you really got to read this. And I had it. By the end of the day, you were approved.
I backed your other project, and I'm excited to see that in full.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out to you, man. I was waiting my letter. He said he's supposed to be coming home this minute to finish it up. But
I backed it, so I got behind this because I wanted to see what more was out there. So
yeah.
When it's in a printed version, he'll have a QRC code that goes around with us, and we'll be telling him, you like what you see, and you're gonna scan that QRC code, and they'll take it to his website or wherever you want it to go, and you're gonna have the ability to tell your story, and you're gonna be able to sell it to them directly. So the idea is to give you a bigger audience through the Continuum. That's kind of the thing. Like, we hope your people come over and visit us, and obviously get that cool alternate cover that you have. You have a beautiful alternate cover. Like, I really dig it. But we also want to talk to people about not just you, but all the other creators that have gotten together on this. And being in a collaborative effort, and, you know, one of the things that we did is when we look at a story, we, like you said, is this something I want to buy?
Yeah.
It has to have that sniff test. Would I want this in my collection? And so many creators put out things, you know, they would never buy.
Yeah.
So
right here sitting beside me. Look at that.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
That's a collector's item right there. But so you're on your journey. You have the books coming out. When's your next Kickstarter for the Legacy of the View? And when is you got to have another series coming out from you? I can tell. When we talked the last time, you had like so many ideas.
Yeah, I plan on doing the Kickstarter maybe in September. They're gonna do it for the 4th issue, and I might put out the chapter 1 and chapter 2 of my spinoff. That's a manga, because I think that's the best way I can put it out. Because the manga market is way different than comic, because they mainly do like online stuff. So I'm gonna try to put out each chapter online only, then put like the like 5 issues or 5 chapters, because manga out on a trade and sell the book that way. Because I think I'll beat myself putting out each chapter like that.
Yeah, manga readers, they consume a lot, and all the books are thick. You know what I mean? They got like, if you ever, I don't know if you probably, because you in that lane, I don't know if you've researched all the manga. They got people they're doing like a streamline when they're drawing. They like in a place in Japan, just going at it, like boom, 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 pushing out stuff. So they're making books and books and books. Man, it's crazy what they're putting out like that.
Yeah, they have to do. I think they put out 2 chapters in a month, but we only see one of them chapters because and it has to be hit the mark. It has to come out on the 19th or on the 1st every time. Boom, boom, ready to go. No errors, no nothing.
Yeah, they got a smooth machine out there. What they doing over in Japan? It's crazy.
Yeah.
The manga section in the libraries is now getting more than the regular comics. So we gotta hustle. Us Western creators and American style comics, we got to get it back in kids' hands, because manga is like it calls to kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. Look, I'm not trying to hate. I just want a little taste to that audience.
Yeah.
But I mean, we want to cater to everyone. Mike, you've been involved with this project, obviously from the background. You've brought a lot of people to the table. It's been mostly your idea. A lot of people don't know this, but you basically have learned to be the project manager behind this one and hit the ground running doing it. Like, okay, well, what if we do this and that? How has the experience been for you watching these other creators come together and make this book that I think is honestly beautiful? It flows so well together.
I just think the people we're working with are really professional. Real talk. I mean, as far as the way they create their talent, I just love that whole aspect of it. And I know everybody's got busy lives and stuff, and I appreciate everybody sharing and putting stuff out there, because like I said, we got it took us a week and a half to fund. And
not even
less than that.
Yeah, we were funded like a week, and this has been a shorter campaign. We're not even doing a full campaign like most people. We made this a shorter 3-week campaign.
Yeah. So I'm happy and excited about that. I like I said, I want a good product. I want people to see every time they see our comic, they're like, yo, I know it's gonna be fire. I don't know what's in it, but I want it to be fire. That's what I'm trying to bring to it. I want unique stories, but the talent, skill level's got to be up there, and that's just so important to me. And that means I have to bring my.
Now, when you say skill level, you think is a certain skill level to tell a story in that limited amount of pages?
Well, it's like you said, you nailed it. You said it right then and there. Would you buy it? Is this worth your money? If you would be separated from your money, we're not talking everyone's got to have the best art in the world. It doesn't have to all be Marvel ready. We're going to have different art styles. We're going to have challenging art styles. But it has to tell a story that when someone buys this, they never turn around and go, I wasted my money. Mm-hmm. And that's the sniff test. That it really has to, we don't want to see, and this has happened to us already. We had unfinished art being given to us where someone wanted us to put their unfinished art into a book. And we were very uncomfortable with that. We've seen people who we tell them there's a problem and their answer to us is it's better in print. That's not what we want to hear. We want to work with someone. Like with you, we didn't see anything we really had to address, but if we'd seen something small, we might have said to you, hey, Specs, did you know you misspelled this word? And we want to work with someone who does that. This is not about gatekeeping, and people try to make things that way. No, this is about the fan base, and our goal is to entertain fans, and I know you understand that because I see the energy you put into your work. It's exactly what you said. You have to make people feel like they invested in the right person.
Yeah, and ultimately what we want to do, and since the beginning, is create a product that even people that are leveling up are coming into the Continuum and going, I got an idea, and it's only like 4 to 6 pages or 8 pages, but I'll put it into that before you go full boat with it or something like that. So if some people got idea and they want to just kind of create and drop it in there, that's what we want to do. So,
and of course, we want to see you come back if you ever want to test out. And see, this is the cool thing about it, Specs. If you have an idea but you don't want to make it a full story yet, give it to us as a short. We can put it in the book, and then we can get real-time feedback, not just from the online fans who are buying it, but when we're on a show floor. One of the things we noticed when we went out on the first book is people were like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. We'd pitch a lot of the stories. Mike, honestly, what was the one story, no matter how many times we pitched it, people stopped dead in their tracks and asked more about it?
The Wolf and Fox. The wolf story.
Because and you know that.
Yeah, that's in here, right?
Yeah, the divorce. The wolf who's part of the divorce duo where they're talking about him as like the boogeyman. You'll like that. So it's about a divorce. It's about a superhero team that were married that are now divorced and have to co-parent a city. And I was like, when I came up with that, I just knew. I knew right away. In a way, an extension of Cat Dad and Supermom, my kids' book. But there are things you want to talk about that might not work in the kids' realm, like divorce. There are a lot of kids who have to experience divorce, my son included. And I wanted to write something that showed the struggles of a couple, but I also want them to try to figure out a way to co-parent this city. So it gives hope to the kids going through divorce. And we're a generation of divorce now, more than ever before. We grew up in it, and now we're experiencing it ourselves as adults. We're doing it ourselves. So it was something beautiful.
Well, I don't know if we can talk about it or not, but you're planning a project. Would that be part of the Continuum too, or is that something separate?
Actually, we already talked about it. That is going to be going under HEROiX Comics.
Okay.
That will be, and the HEROiX is meant for basically not young readers like the Playtime comics. It'll go for the teen and up, like what we were reading when we were growing up. The X-Men and that, they kind of pushed envelopes. It's like that Looney Tunes thing where if you're old enough to get the joke, you'll get the joke. But if you're really young, it'll go over your head. Like there's not going to be any profanity. Profanity will have like the bat symbols over it, like they're doing at DC. Maybe we'll put moons over the curses in Wolf and Fox. So we're going to show the curses, but we won't talk about things, but there'll be implied things. And that's my job as the writer, to be able to write something that's Looney Tune-like. In other words, that thing that goes over the younger readers' heads, but they can just hear the tension in the words.
Okay.
Yeah, he called her a slut. What's a slut? Because the younger reader might not really know totally what a slut is yet. But it's not something that'll really challenge them. But as they get older, they'll go back and read it and go, "Oh, that's what he meant." So I'll have Mike there, my Disney correspondent. We'll make sure I don't cross the lines with that one. Mike is very much like, you can't say that word. I'm like, I say that every day. What? Say that word. He's like, no, Rob, do you want it to be this? I'm like, fine. Yeah, whatever. Because we do take it serious. And even my work has to go under scrutiny. Everything I do has to be approved by the partners. We talk about it in great length. It's where are you taking this story? What do you want to do with it? What do you want to accomplish? And that's what we want to know. We don't want to just put out a book where there's a girl with boobs and let's just put a generic story and just show boobs. I have no problem with boobs. I want to show boobs too. And I definitely want to see boobs. But I want it to be a story. I want it to be a reason. Why does that character feel like they have to dress a certain way? Are they empowered? Is there a reason they dress this way? And that with Fox, we have some really cool ideas coming for and I'll give you guys watching just a little taste of Fox's past. Fox original partner was a very older man when she was a teenager. And while it was never publicly known, everyone knew they were doing something. everyone knew the two of them were definitely doing something on the side. So it's that when she was younger, she thought she had to dress a certain way. She was like kind of a party girl. And we're going to kind of unpack that. We're going to see a lot about the dynamics of humans and self-value. And though the cool thing, and we've talked about this, is every episode of Wolf and Fox is going to start with them in therapy. It starts with them on a therapy and a couch, and it ends with them on therapy and the couch. And hopefully every issue we can address a certain theme. And that we can show them grow and hopefully learn to work together to save a city that's under constant attack, which is, it's a metaphor for us trying to raise our children with people that we sometimes are combative with because your relationship didn't work. And most of the time you just want to go say nasty things with them on Facebook. And all of a sudden you look over and you go, oh, wait, I have a kid with this person. Maybe I need to find a better way. Maybe I need to find that way to get common ground. And maybe I need to not make them my enemy and really see what the enemies are headed for our children. What are the things coming for our children? They're going to make our children's lives harder. And that'll be the metaphor without actually using a child. So, because without having to use a child, you can get away with a little bit more. You don't want to see a kid beat up in a book, but we can get the city to get beat up a bit. And show when they're failing that there are consequences to them failing, not getting together, and not getting over their stuff. Because a lot of times with parents, let's be honest, that are divorced, they're still trying to fight about something that no longer matters because your relationship is over with them. It's time to make a new relationship. So hopefully I can get all that into a comic book. That'll be the goal with that. And I do know, Specs, you're a parent, you're busy. So if you want to take off, we're cool with that. We just want you to tell us where they can follow you.
Oh, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's cool. She just run out in the background. That's all.
Whenever you have to leave, just be like, okay, guys, I gotta go. Feel free. Right. Jax was in the background right now in the bed with the tablet. It's the only reason I'm allowed on the show right now. Like you'll see him important. I'm like, Mike, it's your show, and I'll just walk away.
My kids are old, so. Said, oh, let me let y'all know, Jack's in the house.
Yeah, he just walks over. Hey. He heard Mike. He likes Mike more than me. That's the whole thing. We go to any restaurant now, and all I hear is, "Where's Mike?" I'm like, "This is just me and you, bud." He's like, "Oh."
All the fun's gone, right?
Yeah, like, oh. Oh, it's just you, old man. All right, whatever. You're paying, right? That's all he cares about. He's like, "You're paying, right?" But no, something like this. Being able to be part of something with the energy that I get from, like, especially Mike. Mike's like, and I think we're all in this group. We're really fans of comic books. Anytime that I've had conversations with you, I see how you talk about it. We really love comics. And I think when you come from a place, like, I don't think any of us really look at this as a business. And that's to my detriment. I'll admit, a lot of times I don't do things. I have a character who could be on a cover half naked. And I respect my character too much to do that to her. I don't want to make money that way. And I'm okay with that. I have this idea that what I'm creating is art, and I want to treat it the right way. And when I want to do something, it'll be my choice. It won't be to make money. And I feel like you do that, Specs. With your writing and the way that you're pacing your story, you haven't really leaned into the manga part where it's very sexual. I haven't seen that from anything you've done. Can you just talk a little bit about that? Like, how do you find your lines of what's okay and not for your series?
Well, I really don't know what the age group is my book is yet. I want to finish the fourth one, so I have that full trade I can put out and I can see where it is. But like, really, I'm just been basing off what the parents like my age that have kids or older, letting their kids watch on TV, like Naruto. I look at that like. Where they draw a line at. I look at whatever they watching Demon Slayer or even like Voltron or stuff He-Man, stuff like that. Where's the line drawn at? Because like they get away with stuff like saying damn and asshole and stuff like that, but the parents still letting them read and watch this stuff. So I kind of watch that. Then like the gore wise or the fighting wise, like what line is that? Like they play Mortal Kombat, but some parents will say no, some people say yes, but
find that fine line.
But 85 of kids I know right now down on the counter, they playing GTA and doing whatever on there. So like, you never know, man. I think as long as it's fiction, it's cool. So like, I just been like dumbing it down, but keeping it, still. If they go to the movies or turn on TV, what they'll see. Like I say, mostly my idea of where my levels at is The Walking Dead. Because I mean that's pretty serious and it's popular. So I see what they do and what they create the line there, and I keep it right there. So that's why I'm confused. Like, what I don't know, age group. I can't say it's for 10 and up or teens only. I don't really know because I do have cuss words. It's gore, but like you said, it's nothing sexual like that. Because my characters are teenagers, but like you said, I have so many other series. I got another series I will do, and it's definitely gonna be adult oriented. It's about a couple, but one's a cop and one's a superpower individual, and it's kind of like a Bruce Wayne and Catwoman type of deal, but they don't know. He don't know his wife's secret identity is she got superpowers, and it's a play on that.
That's cool. Is that style gonna be manga as well?
No, I don't know what I'm gonna do for that, because that's gonna be a self-contained story. It's pretty stuff part of Legacy of the V World. But I'm right now down. Should I do a novel and like a light novel? I don't know if you know what that is. Just write it out and have some pictures, and so like let the imagination, go by the reader. I'm not sure yet because some stuff I think I should write in a novel form and let somebody's imagination, take off.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm a bad dad. I'm like the bad mom thing because, like, I don't know where he learned it. Jax picked up the phrase "what the hell," and I got called out by the teacher about it, and I was like, the first thing I said to the teacher was, "Did he use it right?" And the teacher laughed and said, "Actually, yes, very appropriately." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, did he say the F word?" And she was like, "No." And I know he does. Like, it has to be bad. But I heard him drop the F word. And I'm one of those parents, like, well, he knows what the word is. Like, if he starts going around saying bitches and hoes, that's a problem. And I'm gonna have to reel it in. But right now, he kind of knows. Like, I've heard him say it. It's so appropriate. He'll drop something, and he'll be like, SHIT. And I'll be like, tell me about it, buddy. Like, it doesn't even register in my mind that I should say something to him. I had my older sister be like, you're just going to let him say that? And I'm like, what do you say, the F word? They're like, no, he said SHIT. And I'm like, yeah, but he dropped it. You see the mess he made? Like, they're getting paper towels. So it's hard. It really, and our culture is always changing. What words we're allowed to use, what words we're not allowed to use, and that's as creators, we have to be very in touch with what's allowed right now. I know that Mike has even gone to his kids and asked them certain things. I know other creators are doing that, and then you're in the world of hip hop too. You have an event coming up, as a matter of fact, don't you?
Who, I mean?
Yeah, you Specs.
Oh no, that's a video game tournament.
A video game tournament. Like, you're all over the place, man. Like,
I mean, I was planning on doing something with my comic book with them last year, but COVID happened, and they reached back out to me, and for be a sponsorship, they'll give me a booth there, and they're gonna promote my stuff, and also for my logo on the flyer. So, there is a market, I'm trying to go into because the View, he's a gamer, so I wanted to show that aspect. So I'm in that world. Yeah,
they relate to it. It's something that's relatable.
Yeah.
Because he's a gamer, and if you're going after that market is going to be interested in that.
And I can see the Legacy of the View being like a telltale game, one of those story games. Instantly, I can see it in my head right away, just because the way the art, the way you tell the story, the jokes that are in it. It's like you're able to land jokes really well, and that could be one of those cool series. So when you're there, rub elbows with game designers. Be like, hey, you ever thought about making a comic book video game?
Yeah, that's true. But we're speaking about bad words. Have y'all seen that Netflix show called Cuss Words? Got Nicolas Cage.
Like, as soon as I get off this show, I'm going to what?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage got a show on Netflix, and each cuss word has their own episode, and he explains where it came from, the uses, and when it became bad and when it became good. It's a pretty good show if you swear a lot.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting to me.
Yeah, so I think it's 6 or 7 episodes for each word, you know.
So they go hard.
Man, I'm in. I'm gonna make Mike watch it with me. If you don't know, Mike gets very like when I get mad and I start cursing, he gets kind of, I won't say sensitive because it's not sensitive, but you can see him start looking around like, dude,
what he's saying, I'm kind of bugged. I'm kind
of, man.
I'm kind of Disney, man, because I'll edit it because like my book I'm creating, I know what my market is. It's like mid-teens, but I also want my mom to pick it up and not be like freaking out over.
Hey.
You know what I mean? So.
Mike, he's trying to get Mike's attention.
Yeah, I see it.
What's up, buddy? What's going on, man? You good?
He's trying to scare you. He's trying to scare you. So this little
show me your robot.
Show the robot teeth. Yeah. So this kid gets dental surgery, and they're like, oh, he's gonna wake up and he's gonna be groggy. He's gonna cry and he's gonna cry for his. He's gonna be emotional. So like, I'm driving home with this kid in the car, waiting for like the time bomb to wake up and like scream because he's never been sedated. Finally starts waking up, and you can see the look in his eye. He's not crying. You see, he's coming back. If you ever see anyone come out of surgery, they kind of have that like glazed look, and then the human starts coming back inside. So he goes, "Hey, Mom." He goes, "Hey, Dad." And he gets quiet. You can see his tongue pushing around in his mouth, and he just says, "Robot teeth. I have robot teeth." That is going in as many comic books as I can make it. That is going to be a running joke. I'm going to be transforming teeth. I'm going to do everything I can for robot teeth.
There will be a story that comes out, I'm sure. Some comics will have robot teeth.
We have to make a whole series called Robot Teeth. It's kids' mouths, and at night they go out and make the world better. And I just came up with that, so that's it. That's it. Coming to Playtime Comics. Hey, Robot Teeth. Stay tuned.
Coming to a comic store near you.
Yep, stay tuned at night. It's like PJ Masks, but they're teeth. But that'll be Jackson. Jackson will be like for that royalty money when he's going to college. He'll be like, all right, that college is free, right?
Yeah.
Where's my car, Dad? Where's my car?
Yeah, right.
And now let me talk to you when it comes to the music field, because you have experience in the music field. Mm-hmm. I know rock and wrestling has always been a thing. Do you think comics and hip hop, because there's a big movement towards the DJs and the hip hop comics that are coming out? Do you think this is like the time where we're going to see a lot more? Because Milestone came back. That's huge news this week. They came out. I don't know if anyone's got the book yet. That comes out. No, it's coming out tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the day.
DC Day, Tuesday.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
I got it in my pool bus. I'm gonna go there and pick it up. But kind of with the whole Disney Plus thing, maybe 2023, maybe. I know they have a rapper that's gonna appear in She-Hulk, so that's gonna break it. But mostly the hip hop seems like it's more focused on anime. It's a lot of anime references, a lot of songs and stuff. And but comics is more like older rappers because the 90s. But I think because it's Disney Plus and it's bringing all these shows so quick, they're gonna need guest appearances and stuff like that. And I think it's gonna blend. Like
Method Man stands out. Method Man is such a fan of comic books.
So I think, but
Black Lightning, I think Black Lightning did a great job. I don't see why it's canceled. I heard mixed things why it's canceled, but it had different little tidbits drop here and there. People like
I loved it.
It was crazy. I think that could have if HBO now HBO now picks it up, or I think it's Discovery. They picks it up, I think it would be way better than just sitting on CW.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you put more money behind it. They still did a phenomenal job of adding some a hip hop edge to it, and the music was just brilliant. Even putting people on there, like Jill Scott. That was fire, phenomenal. Like I said, I'm a big fan of it. But I was just thinking, like talking about the relation between anime and manga and hip hop. I feel like it's always been there, because when you think of anime and manga, you kind of think of the old karate movies a little bit, and
Wu-Tang,
heavy on that, you know, and they came up out of that kind of thing. And it's like, I remember growing up, and we would get like VHS tapes of all the kung fu movies we can get. And if you ever went to like New York or in the city, you get like kung fu tapes that you just seeing chop up karate chop stuff that they flying around and everything like that. And it's like,
do you think do you think anime's new kung fu movies, the new wave, like back then it was a kung fu movies, seeing the subtitles and everybody talking like this, and now it's anime people doing the same thing?
Yeah, man. I feel like it's the young, when I say young kids, because I'm 45. So when I say young kids, I mean the 18 to 30 age. Yeah, the 18 to 30, 35-year-olds, they grew up out of the anime, but I came out of kung fu flicks. You know what I mean? Like
like my age, I'm 30 in 2 weeks. So like I was a kung fu, like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, you know, all them. I grew up with that. Then also I caught the tail end of the Dragon Ball Z and all that. I'm kind of wasn't into anime when Naruto came out, but like Dragon Ball Z was definitely it for me, like stuff like that. So like I got a good blend of both, you know. So it just
I'm going way back to like the old kung fu flips on VHS tapes where like it's no voiceovers. If it is, it's like, and they're talking like, oh, come over here, and it's like all of a sudden everything moves into a fight. It's like, oh, you think you're strong. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I love that stuff. That was fire. And then I think there's just the evolution of it.
See, now you could tell Mike grew up with in probably like middle class. We didn't have VHS tapes of it. No, we had WPIX. We had Channel 11 in New York. We had on Saturday and Sunday.
On Saturday.
It was Saturday the marathon. You would watch it the whole day. And like you said, there was such little story. Because it was just, I'm going to kill you now. And it was like, but what happened? You just talked for 5 minutes and that's all you said. But then you'd see him like flying in the air, ripping guys' hearts out. And this is in the middle of like the day. And your parents were like, let's go watch the television. And this was like rainy days. Because if there was sun out, like if it wasn't the winter in New York and there was sun out, your ass was outside. Go do something. I don't care. Go sell drugs. Whatever you got to do. But I remember that growing up. Like, there's nothing like your childhood being ruined by watching things you shouldn't and you're not ready for. Nightmare on Elm Street ruined me for life. Any person who's ever had to sleep in a hotel room with me, Mike's been in a hotel with me. Don't even think about that. It's not that way. We're on the road together, separate beds. But when he walked into the room, I stood up like this. Who's that? Who's that? I got the eyes open. I'm starting to grab things in case it's Freddy, because I know Freddy's coming for me. But yeah, I mean, what were for you, Specs? You talked a little bit about it. What were your biggest influence comics wise? Like what made you go, I want to make comics and this is the person who inspired me? If there was a person or if there was a comic book.
I mean Stan Lee, but I really like growing up, you don't really say, oh, this is a Jim Lee book. Let me read some of his stuff. So like picking up comics back then, this X-Men book, this is Superman book. I didn't know who wrote what. But like being grown now, knowing, being in the industry, like I really like Jonathan Hickman. Like he's good. Yes. And Brian Michael Bendis. I like him as well.
Now, do you like, you probably like Marvel, Brian Michael Bendis. Can you name something DC, Brian Michael Bendis, that you like?
See, he got me reading Superman. I don't currently read Superman because he went to DC and started writing Superman. I did buy the Man of Steel books and a couple of the first Superman books. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, but he turned Superman into the 1970s Hulk that was walking around America.
I didn't say I continued reading it, but he got me to read Superman. I was not a Superman fan at all. I was like, oh, he's writing it. Let me read it. I just didn't like how he did Jonathan. I really was a fan of Jonathan. I didn't realize how he aged him up super quick. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, you get more time with him with Robin. That was the only time you really get to see him as a teenager.
I did not like that. I really like those two people, Robin and Superboy together.
Super Science. Yeah,
it was fire. I can't believe they grew him up too fast, way too fast, man. I liked him with the jeans, the cut up jeans, and the cape, and a nice little like hoodie, almost like a hoodie. I love that look and that feel.
Now I haven't read it Superman in a long time. So have Jonathan and Superboy, the Black Jacket, have they encountered each other yet? Do y'all know?
Yeah, actually, there was. It was during their New Crisis event when I guess Superman's. He's not dead, but he's not on Earth. He's like somewhere else, and they get into each other, and you could tell there's like an awkward moment.
It's pretty awkward.
Yeah.
It's, you're my dad's clone with Lex Luthor, and then he's just like, oh, so you're my replacement. I guess you just get the cape now. So there's definitely that kind of like bitterness to it. But I'm sure at one point they'll all get together and make like a
Yeah, true.
No, like, the only person you can't really count on is Red Hood because he's always Breaking Bad. He means to be good, but he just after a while. I cannot believe they have not put Red Hood with Damian yet. That is a series they are just not making money on that they could make so much money overnight.
This Robin series, it might fall in that because
he's getting dark as hell.
Yeah.
He is not in for the Batman rules. He's like, I know where you can put your rules. I don't want to be Batman. Like that's it. He just doesn't want to be Batman anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He walked away, like kind of almost did a Nightwing, but like whole different way. Like he broke bad. Like and he's still an interesting character. I've been keeping up with what he's doing, and he's really growing. And he's like 13 now, I think, in the comics, around 13, 14. And he hates his legacy, and that's interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's twisted, you know. The grandson of the demon and the son of the bat. You know,
his mom's a piece of work, man. Don't even like that chick she's crazy, like a bag full of kittens gone on meth. You know, like she's just like, well, if I have to die, I have to die. But at least my son, like she's proud about raping Batman. Like, you know, she's almost like just eat the yellow. You'll be fine, Batman.
Yep, that's right. But yeah, I really like Jonathan Hickman. I like his writing style because and that's how I wrote my books. Like I know where the views are gonna end, and I know the stuff in between. I mean, I know like the climax, all that stuff. So right now, current all my issues are the fluff in between. So like when I say I got 100 issue plans, I know how I'm wanting to end. And now I write all the middle stuff, and that's how he wrote his stuff. I guess it's Fantastic Four was the same way the Avengers and the X-Men he just did. Like he gave us 3 different parts of the story, and in the middle part we haven't seen yet. You know, like we don't know about the chimeras he was talking about. We haven't even seen them even bring that up yet. And I think they're 30 or 40 issues in.
He's a deep cut guy, man, and he remembers because he's got stuff he'll pull from weird spaces, and it's like, yo, that's from here, and it's like 10 issues ago. It's like it's wild. And I have to actually watch some YouTube shows of guys that actually read it sometimes because it's like I'll miss some stuff that was read, and it was like, yo, this is from there, and I was like, oh, that's a deep cut right there, and he'll pull from stories from other writers from years ago. And I think that's just I think that's awesome. Or he'll explain something that never got explained from another writer.
Yeah.
Right. We are at the last 10 minutes. We should talk about our book.
Go ahead.
I guess we should talk about our book. So we're gonna play a quick video, remind everyone what the things are, and then I'm gonna put both of you like which one, not picking your own story, which one is not your favorite, so not everyone's read everything. But which one do you think has the biggest potential as just a pitch in this video? Just based on the video, all right? You guys ready? All right, here we go. This is, I want to get the right video. I think this is it. Fingers crossed.
Welcome to the Continuum. I am the one, Mister Anderson. And right now I'd offer you red pills or blue pills and tell you that I'm here to offer you a choice. But apparently trying to give pills on a site is a bad thing. Gotta watch those terms of violations. But instead, I'm the one who gets to tell you about the fact that the Continuum has entered stretch goal territory. That's right. We already showed you that we have an amazing one page about a toddler. Beware of them. We have some other great things planned for you guys. You're all getting extra content. And now, every single backer gets a PDF pack. What does that mean? A bunch of creators are coming together and they're giving us their actual comics in PDF form for you, all the backers. That's right, you're all going to get a copy. It's over 100 pages already and it keeps growing. So keep supporting, keep sharing, and thank you for entering the Continuum.
And we're going to be talking. Hello and welcome to the Continuum Presents HEROiX crowdfunding campaign. My name is Mister Anderson. I'm going to walk you through just a few things going on with this campaign, including the fact that we have two covers brought to us by Andy McDonald and Mike Seeley. Don't worry, you don't have to choose. You can get them both as a new reward given to you by Continuum Comics. You can get both of these covers for just $20 plus shipping. You're also, within this book, going to learn about the origins of 8-Ball. You're going to meet the angel from Sadhill. We're going to go back to something I was part of in the very beginning of my creative journey, Gothic Blue, is we expand a story and give you a blue Christmas. We're going to talk about the after-school job that Specs Thomas gives the legacy of the View. We're going to talk about heroing by the hour. No city or town is too big or too small to pay for the heroic services of the one and the only superhero on Earth. This is Heroing by the Hour. And that amazing cover over on the right-hand side is from Mike Seeley, and he did an amazing job. And I can say that because I saw that and I said, wow, all of this is available right now on the campaign. Plus, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back to $1 reward where we're going to give you the opportunity to pick just one story. And if you do that, here's the deal. We're going to give you 2 books. We're going to be adding to it. We're going to be bringing back a PDF pack. Stay tuned for more, including a shocking change that's coming to the Continuum. You're never going to believe what we have in store for you. All right, so what's the one story out of all those that really jump out at you? Mike, this one fairly, but Specs here first.
I'll say hero, and I want to see how this wrestler, functions as a wrestler and a hero. How he says he wants to get paid for his work.
So I'm going to let Mike answer that, and I'm going to be right back. So I'm going to show you something. I think you'll like this, Specs. But go ahead, Mike. You're on the hot seat.
All right. So I'm excited about all the stories. Heroine, 8-Ball, yours. I mean, I'm just excited to see, because I gotta say I'm a hero whore. And I still like the classic stories. Like I said, you go to your comic book store and you gotta pull, so you still get the Batman books, you still get you reading Superman. So I'm still from that. Like, I'm the first to go get in line at the Marvel movies and stuff like that. So I'm excited for all the stories. I'm excited for Marvin, MD, McDonald. This is first sequential art being dropped in our book, and so we're happy to be a part of that. I'm excited to have manga, anime in the book that I'm helping develop. I love Peterson's as well, because Peterson has a Brazilian hero, and he tells a story that's provocative and got a different tone to it, because when we think about superheroes, we're always thinking about them being in America, but more stories, to me, I feel, need to be told from a different viewpoint, from a different country, so we can look into that view. So that's why I'm excited about Peterson. Obviously, Heroine is dope because I know the story back and forth because I've read it a bunch of times, and I understand who the character is. And Got Blue, I think, got some legs and definitely got more story coming from. So,
yeah. And Gothic Blue, that'd be cool. That would wind up in Comics Unleashed. because some of the content in Gothic Blue is definitely a little more adult. So here you go, Specs. This is something you get to see. JW, and I'll blow up my screen so you guys can see it. And Mike's seen this. This is what happens when your writer starts to draw. But this is actually a drone that he has that follows him around. And he actually has a microphone to actually use in the middle of fights. They have little laser shows that he can put on. Like, he really treats everything like he's still a wrestler. In his mind, still a wrestler. He plays entrance music before he goes to fight someone. He's got the little crawl thing. And this happens in the late 90s, like when wrestling was really big. And Mike was like, well, how would he have a drone? Drones weren't around. They actually were around back in the 90s, but they were very expensive. And I was like, Mike, this guy gets paid millions of dollars to save the city. He has tons of money. It doesn't matter. Now, before we go any further tonight, we do want to talk about if you guys get us over 1,500. We're already funded, and the book's already done. We're doing little minor changes. We've talked about how the Continuum's coming. But we also, and Spec's seen this, the cards. We have actually creator cards that we're going to have a whole series. And we start with series number 2 because this represents our second issue. Does that mean we're going to go back and do a series for the first issue? Yes. We are going to be doing a series for the first issue and the second issue. Whether you guys get us over, and I have faith in you that you guys are going to get us over 1,500, we're $30 away. But we're going to do both series. The problem is you won't get the first set, which is series 1. You don't get us to a certain mark. So you guys got to start sharing it. If you want to see these cards. And I'll tell you what, you guys might be able to be one of the first people to own something with Fox. That's right. No one's seen Fox yet. But if we get the rewards, you guys will be able to do it. Now I'm going to tease. If you're in Tampa Bay this weekend, you're going to want to come by. We're showing off Fox this weekend at a show exclusively. No online pictures will be shown. It's going to be there. So you want to do that.
Can I show some wolf? I'm working on.
Yeah, you can show us some more. Wolf's been seen, but this is sweet. This is going to be something special.
It's something I'm doing, and I want to have it for the con. I don't know how to show up, but
move it back a little bit. It's a little bright,
Tilt it.
Tilt, man. Pivot.
Let me turn the thing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you made it better. There we go. Here it is.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Look at that. That's gonna be so dope. That's gonna be at our table this weekend. I'm telling. Oh, I can't wait to even get into that story. I can't wait to see more Legacy of the View, and I can't wait to talk about Legacy of the View at Comic Cons from now on, and introduce you to the world. Introduce our good friend Marvin, who's going to be with us in Tampa. As a matter of fact, he's at B15. We're at 350, by the way, me and Mike, but he'll be at 315 representing Continuum and Swerve Comics. Of course, Peterson, an amazing creator. Isn't Peterson coming with us to Tampa, or is he doing Mega? MegaCon, okay.
MegaCon, yes.
But it's amazing. It's amazing to take this journey with creators like you guys. I now get to say that I've been in a book with Specs Thomas. So when Specs Thomas is a big DJ, I get to be like, back in the day, me and him worked together. And that's the amazing thing about it. You're part of the Continuum family now, and you can buy books from us even from the first issue to the third issue. Which, yes, we have a third issue already being planned because you can't get lazy. You can't sleep on your. I mean, Specs is already talking about. He's got issue number 4. He's got. You don't understand, as creators, just because we're crowdfunding it doesn't mean we're not working on 5 other things at the same time. We're just doing it all at once. It's just called lack of sleep and a lot of caffeine. You just get caffeine addiction. You're fine. Just seen the other day, Mike walks into the Starbucks and he's like, I just want a coffee. I need a little pick me up. They're like, sorry, we don't have that flavor. And he was like, I had to walk him out. He's like, you don't have my flavor. Like, what? It's on your menu. Why is it on your menu if you don't have? Like, I was like, Mike, calm down.
I'm bougie.
Yeah, he was like, I need that. Kidding around aside, when we get together, Mike will have these 4 beers, right? He has the shot. And this is the long week Mike had, but he still showed up to the meeting because he's a great guy. But he drinks this one thing, and normally he tries to soften anything. Even if it's negative, he tries to soften it. He'll be like, that's not very good. Nah, man, he was like, that's horrible. What did they just give me? Are they trying to kill me?
It was garbage.
He had that Kickstarter fatigue on him. he had that Kickstarter fatigue going on. Thank you both for hanging out with me tonight. We'll probably go live another night. We're going to be on backer pause this week. I haven't decided what time that is because we're still trying to figure out how we're doing Thursday and whether we're going up for Tampa or not a day early. Because it's Comic-Con weekend. It's our first big Comic-Con, our first 3 day here in Florida, as far as I know. I think we've only done 2 days. This is our first 3 day. Yeah. And then we go to MegaCon 4 days. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure to back it just for $1. Seriously, guys, get part of that. Get Specs' story. And I told people, Specs' story is probably the one you want to get out of the whole book if you want a really fun tale, if you want a really in-depth tale that's Sadhill, because we're all different. Sadhill is a very in-depth. If you want to like really see the flex of a writer, 8 Ball. 8 Ball sets up this universe. There's not a bad story in the book. And I know I'm supposed to say that because I'm behind it, but I'm excited about every single creation in the book, including my own, which I'll finally start to talk about this week, I promise. I know a lot of people are like, how come you haven't talked about your story? I was like, look at everyone I had to talk about. I had such great creators. I felt like I couldn't come before them. I had to talk about them first. So I thank you all for being part of the project. I thank Mike for bringing it together. Final things, go around the room, tell them where they can follow you. We'll start with Specs.
All right, you can follow me at Facebook or Instagram at Legacy of View. And if you want to get some issues that's not in the Continuum, issue 1, 2, and 3 is available on legacyofview.com. Use some merchandise on there as well, so you can get some shirts, posters, whatever you want. And some little tidbits I got on there, Easter eggs about my world as well. At legacyofview.com or at legacyofview on Instagram and Facebook.
And I'm Mike, partner of Continuum Comics. Definitely got some big stuff in the works. We're working on I'm working on my Eclipse book. I'm probably about six pages away from being finished, and then it'll be starting to get lettered and colored. So that is going to be coming probably this fall. You can follow it at Instagram at the Eclipse at the Eclipse, or follow me on Mike_MJS art or MikeSeeley.com.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you're back and go to HEROicsComics.com. Here's who I am.
Mr. AnderSiN is the unboxable advocating creator known as the indie comics devil who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish, monsters, and more. He is the giver of free hugs and spanks, and he is a partner in Continuum Comics. Check out everything AnderSiN at chainlinks.site.
And we're going to be talking about 8 Ball and the Continuum presents HEROiX. Go ahead, take it away.
Well, in this episode that you'll be getting of 8 Ball, you'll see him. Basically, he got a tip on some information about. I'll give you the bad guys that from my